Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action,
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw come
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. That's Barry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Go!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Watch the run. Check.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And Sanders now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. 2nd down and inches. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd down, it's Shaw. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. To throw on 3rd down. Black. And that will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Sanders. 35 yards that time on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's caught. Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. His throw caught right around the 6. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a gain of 34. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Ready, ready. 60 Pittsburgh. I got him. Hey, high 7. Right 52. Let's go, D.
They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Hey, exit. Check Mike 57.
2nd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Check. 57's right. Coming in now.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, and he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now he rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, Where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Austin Seibert on for the extra point.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed it in the huddle. Hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Go! 90 Wolf! 10.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and try to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. On second down, Kamara. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Fights him off, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, it wasn't so much that it looked like the offense was threatening. They were. I mean, they had great field position, but how about the defense on that one? Huge stop on 3rd down. It wasn't just a stop. Look at the loss of yardage, and it changes the play calling and the thought process for the offense now. Big-time play for the D, and now they have the advantage.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken it around the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And he's going to go down again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 40-yard punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down now, Boyce pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And some room to work. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
Point after here coming up. And that makes it a 9-point game.
Next to score, Vikings 16, Bears 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 75 yards as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he'll give it here to his running back. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. So they went a little cautious there on third and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run the counter. Shaw. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Back to throw. Black firing quickly, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. From the gun on third down. Black looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. A great Monday night to wrap up the weekend football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Right back to Sanders on first down. Fast footwork by Sanders. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give right side. Boyce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock, in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Boyce, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They come out here in the eye. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Leo! Yep. Hard. Shit. Rock it. Let's go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football, you often find good running lanes.
So now the Bears down by 7, 1:07 remaining. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Down. 60 or more. Come on, D. Cut. Ready.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Black. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory.
Orbit. Right. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Here we go, D.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
I'm coming after you. You go tight. Look at me. Go. Safety cream. Shut up.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves,